On this episode of the One Piece vlog, I am finally going to break down Luffy versus Crocodile at the end of the Alabasta arc. The first thing that comes to mind when talking about this fight is the buildup from their two previous encounters, the foreshadowing for the whole arc about Crocodile, and of course the emotional highs that we come off of after the fights that I talked about in my last episode of the One Piece vlog. We have heard about how evil Crocodile is for a very long time, and of course that he is one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and the only other warlord we have met absolutely destroyed Zoro earlier in One Piece very easily. So the build-up for Crocodile as a character was showing us absolutely the strongest person we have seen yet in this world. And of course, that is backed up by their first 2 encounters. Luffy and Crocodile first fight in the desert, and Crocodile wipes the floor with them because Luffy doesn't know how to deal with Crocodile, someone that turns to sand. And of course, we have that fantastic panel of when Luffy is getting stabbed by Crocodile's hook. So we have that first encounter, and then Luffy shows back up. Crocodile doesn't know how Luffy is still alive, and Luffy shows up, but he has a barrel of water, and he has learned that if you splash water on Crocodile, you can finally land a blow on him. So we think for a moment, maybe Luffy has finally found the answer. But of course, Luffy loses again, and this fight is a little more humorous than the other 2, and is the one time where we have hope, but then it is quickly crushed by Crocodile. In between that time, we get all the other crew members fight with Crocodile's henchmen. So we're coming up off the highs of the end of Zoro's fight in particular. So emotionally, as a reader, we are already very emotional and hyped up going into the third fight between Luffy and Crocodile. And one of my favorite parts about this fight is how Crocodile, how his powers function within a battle. The fact that it is so difficult to hit him makes it really interesting, and Luffy has to come up with some pretty clever ways to deal with Crocodile. And of course, we have the added beats of Vivi's arc and Robin's arc. The fight happens underground with Vivi's dad there and Robin. Before the fight starts, we see Crocodile threaten to kill Robin. And so having this added part of the storyline of Luffy saving Robin foreshadows how she will join the crew in not too many chapters later. And of course, we get the emotion of Vivi's dad, and Vivi, a character we have become to love already in the story. And Luffy is fighting for everyone, not only in his crew, but for Vivi and her kingdom as well. The stakes are higher than they have ever been before. So for this fight, we have the highest spectacle so far in One Piece, and that adds so much to the pleasure of reading it. The final fight, and a huge factor into why it is so enjoyable, is how strong Luffy is, and when Luffy keeps coming back, keeps surprising Crocodile. You know, Crocodile has such a higher bounty on himself than Luffy does, so Crocodile thinks this isn't going to be difficult. I am one of the 7 warlords of the sea. You are just a no-named pirate who no one has really heard of. And to see Luffy come back not once, not twice, but a 3rd time to be able to beat him really draws the emotion of the fight and takes it over the top. This has been absolutely one of my favorite chapters to read so far, and now I want to take a time and go into more of my video essay format and go over a few specific panels that I liked in particular, and then I'll see you back here for the end of the video for my overall thoughts on the fight. So quickly, I want to go over two pages that I particularly liked in this fight between Luffy and Crocodile. And the first one comes in their first one-on-one encounter, and what immediately sticks out about this panel is, of course, the image in the middle of Crocodile stabbing Luffy through the heart with his hook. One of the things I like about this image is not only that it is in silhouette, but it just immediately captures how far behind Luffy is compared to Crocodile in this moment. And of course, the panel is framed by the panel on the top and bottom of the page. And at the top of the page we have Crocodile and just his eyes, really showing us the terror that Crocodile provides. And immediately we look down and see Crocodile stabbing Luffy. And the bottom panel is also something that I really like, and it's Luffy's hat on the ground with the text bubble "Here on the Grand Line." We know from previously in the story that Luffy's hat means everything to him, and seeing it on the ground like that shows us immediately, without even having any other context, that whatever situation Luffy is in, it is not a good one. And of course, here on the Grand Line hints to the difficulties to potentially come on his journey throughout the Grand Line, which has just started. So this panel immediately captures how far behind Luffy is in the fight, and the horror of Crocodile with the top panel and the silhouette of Crocodile presumably killing Luffy. The second page that I want to look at is in the final encounter between Luffy and Crocodile, and this is the moment where Luffy seems to get the upper hand. They've already fought twice, and of course we have the panel previously that we looked at, showing how far behind Luffy is, but this is a real turning point in the fight. I think one of the cool mechanics of the fight is how you have to get water on Crocodile to be able to hit him, and of course when you use blood that works as well, and so that's a really cool moment. And the first panel at the top of the page is just the exact opposite of the other page we talked about. You see Luffy's hands bloody, but there's a great determination on his face, and shows that he is starting to get the upper hand in this fight, which also, works back to the other panel that we looked at when Crocodile says there are plenty of rookies who are all talk, just like you, Straw Hat Luffy, and then he comes back this far and shows that he's more than just talk. And I think the lines of this particular page work really well. The lines go straight down, so we go right from Luffy to Crocodile and see his desperation in the fight, and then it goes right down with the framing of the speech bubbles right down to the end where we see Crocodile on the ground and Luffy is the one standing tall, and then we get the great line, "You went to hell twice but came back to me again." I love that line, and it just shows the determination of Luffy and kind of the determination of this whole arc, where Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates alongside Vivi work to take out this huge spectacular plan, and it really just shows what makes this arc work so well in just 2 pages. Immediately, the pages convey the feeling of the fight. We get a great payoff from the first page to this page that comes many chapters later in the story, and I think these 2 pages just really show what Oda is so great at doing, and they are 2 of my favorites from this entire Alabasta arc, and specifically the fight between Luffy and Crocodile. So my overall thoughts on this fight is, so far it's right up there with the battle with Arlong. One of the reasons that I think it might be a hair lower is because of the direct emotion between Nami and Luffy promising to Nami that he will defeat Arlong made it really impactful emotionally. But the added spectacle of this Crocodile fight is one of the reasons that it is on par with it, and the build-up for it. The fight itself isn't that long. It isn't nearly as emotional as the Arlong fight, but the build-up with all of the spectacle and so many people being involved with this fight is one of the reasons it is so good. So this is my last episode of the One Piece vlog on the Alabasta arc. now I've been moving on, making my way to Skypiea. There will be new One Piece vlogs, hopefully every single week, so stay tuned for those. And of course, I'm still working on my Why Avatar is Great series, and I have a fun video coming up about Tokyo Ghoul that I have been working on for a while now. I hope you guys will enjoy it. That should be out in the next couple of weeks. A little bit of a change of pace for my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of Luffy and Crocodile, and of course a breakdown of the Alabasta arc as a whole. I'm so excited to keep reading One Piece. You guys have no idea, although I guess if you're probably watching this, you do have an idea because One Piece is truly awesome. So thank you guys again for watching. It means a lot to me, and I will see you guys in the next episode of the One Piece vlog.